What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. This is pretty dang disappointing. We actually see a company out here, Transcend Cards, going and making replicas of the Divine Dice. I guess the reasoning is these were expensive, so I can make some money. They're taking the official YCS logo and slapping it on. So this is what players got rewarded with for going out to the 200th. Some cash back on their travel, and this company's trying to cash in on the popularity, and unfortunately these are going to be floating around. So if you're trying to collect memorabilia for the game, maybe you were going to get the 200th YCS stuff later. This is unfortunately running around, and people are going to buy this up and hawk it off as the real thing. And in some pictures you can tell the glaring difference, this nice bright yellow glow, but in other people's lighting and pictures there's not much of a difference to be had. So you'll probably want to end up picking up this stuff in person from now on, unfortunately. They also are doing this to the top cut freaking playmat, which makes me angry because these players that test for hours and hours, this is all they get handed back sometimes for their hard work and dedication to the game. And now it makes me question if this company's even paying the artist, because I see this picture of Minerva over on like art and DeviantArt and things, places like that, and they've slapped the official Yu-Gi-Oh logo on it and they're selling it. So I feel like this company, Transcend Cards, just terrible what they're doing here, and I'm pretty sure it's not discernible. I'm pretty sure this patch isn't really on their playmat, because we see over with the dice it's sold on the freaking side. So really taking away from the player base, doing something terrible. This is running around. Don't buy into these. Don't be that scumbag that tries to hawk this off on players. And for you guys, I know it's a double-edged sword bringing it to my audience, because there will be scumbags who watch this and potentially buy it to do that. Hopefully you guys don't get caught up in actually having to ever be on the receiving end of getting one of these fakes. And I want to bring as much attention to it as possible that, hey, this is unfortunately a thing. Now then, we have Infinite Impermanence sticking above $90 on TCG Player. This is a really interesting development to see it actually try to stick, whereas on eBay it's falling down pretty consistently. We see $85, $86, $88, a ton of sellers going below and trying to get rid of theirs during the off season. So the Black Friday sale is still lingering with their effects on the market, but what's cooling off is Ghost Bell. You remember it trying to stick 62 to 60? It's becoming cheaper slowly. Nightmare Unicorn, actually under the $30 mark, heading towards 25. A lot of people are going to end up selling off their cards and then getting back in around February and March when we get our next No Sooner Than that actually shapes the WCQ/Nationals format. That's when it gets super competitive. That's when a lot of cards disappear off the market. But for now, people need to buy their friends Christmas presents. People are trying to get cash in their pocket, and realistically, towards February, you also get income tax checks back into people's pockets. You have everything ramping up in that perfect storm. So, Flood, some surprising cool-offs here, because I thought maybe people would have learned from years past that this can ramp back up, or maybe people that are just waiting to see what appears and is named in Battles of Legend really gonna risk it versus the Megatens before the WCQ. Remember Link Rebo? Remember those Ultras and how much they were for us in the TCG? They actually inflated before the WCQ. You don't want to be caught with your pants down, but there's always risk in speculation, and there's also reward here and there. TCS Gaming tournaments. This is something I wanted to shout out for my duelist in the group. They're having tournaments where you can actually play. I believe this will be hosted on Dueling Book, but completely free to play. All you have to do is invite people to the group, and if you use promo code What's Good, you actually get a 50% bonus even on the free tournaments here for what you are entering. So like this $50 prize will become a $75 prize if you win and use promo code What's Good. So all you have to do is type that when you get people in here. And also a free prize card tournament. And they said once they have enough people in, so how to enter is like add 5 friends to the group. Once they get to a certain number of people, I'm thinking around 5K for their group. I don't know what they plan. They'll actually have people stop having friends added to enter free tournaments, and they'll just have them completely free, similar to how Zodiac Duelist does. So this is Ophidian. They've actually given, like Tyler is from Ophidian, they've given so much back to the charity streams. They've done so much for the community, and I'm a pretty big supporter. I know people have been questionable on Tyler in the past, and he's had a rough checkered past, but he's really come up, I think, through the company Ophidian, and has been working hard, and now he's giving back to the players, and I think that's pretty cool. So enter some free tournaments, get some free stuff, my audience. Up to you. Also, a quick note, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles, aka Hobby Co., is coming back with their own card game, Flesh and Blood, and all I've got to say is the art looks freaking fantastic. It looks like this mix between Hearthstone and Magic to me, so I am hyper excited to see what they're coming out with, how it works and interacts, but it is far off. It's just something to note. So for you, those of you guys who saved a ton of money thanks to Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles / Hobby Co., those of you who really enjoyed what they did for the community, looks like they're coming up with their own stuff, and they say it reduces variance, rewarding good decisions, not good luck. Every game is highly interactive, no mulligans required, and fresh 100% resource system. This is sounding pretty darn cool, so I'm excited. Aqua Dolphin heading back on up because we get Neos Connector here in the special edition soon, and people are going to be trying to loop the hands for 6 cards alongside Gumbler. You're going to summon Aqua Dolphin, summon Shade Brigandine from your hand, make Isold, use the Connector, bring back Dolphin, try to rip 2 out of the hand. It's going to be freaking, unfortunately, nuts. And so, justfully so, Aqua Dolphin's price is rising and is now towards $3 from its quote-unquote market price of $2.39. I remember on release when these were 40 cents, so a lot of you guys might be winners that actually went out and got these when you saw the insanity during the WCQ itself of what Aqua Dolphin could do to the hand. We also want to note that the Soul Fusion Special Editions, besides just Neos Connector, it might lower a lot of prices as we get unlimited editions. So these already lowering prices for stuff like Colossus and Danger Snek are going to continue to lower. Snek has been relatively coveted, and seeing unlimited editions will definitely add some much needed coolant to the market on a lot of cards like this, and the ever rising right now Trap Trick. People really want to play those control decks. And I heard Altergeist is seeing a huge rise in the OCG as it is right now. So maybe some nice times to see card prices bottom out a little, and for you to grab your own if you've been waiting for certain cards like this. It might be the cheapest you get them until the Mega 10s / Battles of Legend later in the year, which is, again, after the WCQ / right before, and you're gambling on what could or could not be in there. Basically, get your half a year's of use out of your cards, guys. Ooh, Engage trying to stick up here towards 60 still, and Widow Anchor towards 40. Barely nudging down on both, but they are slowly dipping. So we'll watch and see where they do dip to. They're actually staying up more on eBay for Widow Anchor, yet cheaper on the Engages. So kind of this interesting duality between always check both, TCG Player, eBay. You'll find deals wherever you're looking, and I think we'll continue in the offseason to see Sky Strikers go down, especially as we approach the next no sooner than, which is before Savage freaking Strike and entering the competitive season. So will this last for our WCQ format? I think Sky Strikers are one of the most back and forth actual you have to play decks and use your big brain and interact and know what other decks do, which is why you see skilled pilots like Jeff Jones use this deck. But at the same time, I don't know that it'll be lasting. Again, whenever you're thinking about ban lists, you're speculating. Obviously, there's huge winners for this list, but I hate to say it, the next list ain't that far off. It's, January 21st is the next expiration of No Sooner Than, and I don't want to sound like that broken record, but keep that in mind. That's a very, very short freaking time for you guys to be holding on to cards and rushing for cards as if you're going to be using this for your nationals. And then finally, Hidden Summoners. I just wanted to bring this up completely, that I see some crazy stuff happening with Hidden Summoners. Like the actual sales rate more so than the top cards. The best selling between, oops, we have accidentally gone to Flood. Let's go back to Hidden Summoners. This happens sometimes, boys. We go, so what's selling the fastest? Obviously the Floodgates, which a lot of people discussed. They saw these as being the future most expensive cards in the set, despite no short printing. So it might be better to get your sooner than later, as quantities are falling quickly, and we do see some cheap prices available. Although I forget which one of these was announced for the I want to say the Fire Structure Deck coming out, the Fire Cyber Structure Deck coming out very soon in the OCG. So again, these could be up for reprint, could not be, as we've seen some variations between our structures and starters and theirs. But at the same time, these are the holofoil variants, and I think these could be easy 5s depending in the future, kind of similar to OTS holos of cards that people want. But yeah, Prank Kids, super dang cheap right now. Really do consider getting the engine, if not just for fun, because everything is so freaking cheap. You can throw this deck together and it does amazing things past what I thought and I underestimated, and I think it's going to get some regional tops that end up hyping it. So get it sooner than later, and kind of pick up your cheaper stuff, because history shows stuff like Manju, Goes, and Rivalry, they're going to spike up on. So thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please sign up on the Patreon if you haven't already and want to see an exclusive Market Watch feed. Kind of get that stuff early. And also, P.O. boxes open up down below. Hopefully, you know, I'm helping you guys get entertaining things such as these free tournaments and bring them to your awareness and do this kind of thing. I want to be able to do this every single day and continue that on. So thanks for watching, everybody. And